Ladies and gentlemen, you sitting there, phone buzzed, and it's him. Out the blue, out the nowhere, ain't heard from him in weeks, months, maybe even a whole year. And suddenly he want to check on you. Now your heart got questions your mind already answered. Second chances are earned, not given. That's a principle, not just a phrase. Too many people out here think all they got to do is show back up and everything just picks up where it left off. But life don't work like that, and love sure don't. See, a second chance ain't a reset button. It's a privilege. It means somebody is willing to put their heart back on the line after it's already been hurt. It means they're open to believing in you again, even when you gave them a reason not to the first time. When someone leaves your life, walks away, disappears, messes up, and then comes back like nothing happened, that's not someone asking for a second chance. That someone is asking for a second chance. That's someone hoping you forgot the pain they caused. They're not looking for redemption. They're looking for comfort, convenience, or closure for them. A real second chance starts with a man acknowledging what he did wrong. Not just, I'm sorry. Not just, I miss you. He's got to be able to say, here's where I failed you. Here's what I did that hurt you. And here's what I've done since then to be a better man. There's a difference between missing someone and valuing them. You can miss a person because you're lonely, because things didn't work out with the other one, because your ego got bruised. But valuing someone, that's deeper. That's understanding what you lost and being willing to do the work to get it back the right way. And that work, that's what earns a second chance. It takes more than sweet words and emotional memory. It takes changed behavior, a different mindset, consistency over time. You want a second chance? Show up differently. Don't just say you've changed, prove it. Don't talk about what you're gonna do it. And don't expect a woman you hurt to meet you halfway. If you left, if you broke the trust, if you disappeared, you don't start at halfway. You start at zero and you work your way back slowly, respectfully, and with humility. A second chance is not about re-entering someone's life. It's about being worthy of the place you once had. It's about recognizing that the door may still be open, but the locks have changed. You can't walk in like you used to. You have to knock, ask, and then wait. You have to earn the right to be there again. That's what real men do. They own their mistakes, they put in the effort, and they understand that love is a responsibility, not a right. Sudden contact is rarely accidental. When a man reaches out after being silent, distant, or completely absent for a long time, it might feel like it came out of nowhere, but trust, it didn't. People don't just stumble into your life again without a reason. There's always something behind it, whether it's guilt, loneliness, regret, curiosity, or just boredom. There's a motive. And if you don't pause and look deeper, you'll mistake his timing for sincerity. You'll confuse his message for meaning. Men are strategic, even when they act like they're not. When he suddenly sends a, hey, just thinking about you message, you got to ask yourself, why now? What changed? Is it just that the phone felt heavy in his hand and your name came to mind? Or is there more to it? Chances are there's a trigger. Maybe he saw something that reminded him of you. Maybe he saw you glowing, growing, and living your best life without him. Maybe something in his life fell apart, and now he wants to circle back to something that once felt safe, real, and familiar. That contact is often less about you and more about what he needs. He's hoping you'll still be open, still be available, still have space in your heart for him. He's hoping the door's not locked. But sudden contact isn't the same as change intention. A man might reach out because he feels something, but feelings are temporary. Intentions shape the future. Just because he messaged you doesn't mean he's done any work on himself. Just because he says he misses you doesn't mean he's ready to love you right. Just because he's back doesn't mean he deserves to be. You have to protect your peace, your progress. You've done healing, rebuilding, learning, and now here he comes, popping up like a surprise guest at a party he wasn't invited to. It feels familiar, but don't let familiarity trick you into thinking it's fake. Familiar doesn't mean healthy. Familiar doesn't mean right, and definitely doesn't mean permanent. You've got to slow down and watch his actions, not just respond to the moment. A man who truly values you doesn't show up randomly. He shows up intentionally. He doesn't come with vague messages. He comes with clarity. He doesn't just want to be in contact. He wants connection, and he's ready to invest in it. So when that text or call comes through, don't rush to respond emotionally. Step back. Ask yourself, what has changed since he left? And more importantly, what has changed in me since he left? Because the version of you that was willing to entertain confusion and inconsistency shouldn't be the same version that answers the phone now. Sudden contact may feel good in the moment, but you've got to be wise about what it really means and what it really leads to. Look for accountability, not excuses. When someone comes back into your life after hurting you, the first thing you need to listen for is whether they're owning what they did or just explaining it away. There's a big difference between a man who says, I was going through some things, and a man who says, I hurt you, and I take full responsibility for that. One of those is deflecting. The other is standing up like a grown man. Excuses are easy, they're comfortable, and they shift the focus away from the damage done. But accountability, that takes maturity, humility, and courage. See, anybody can come back with a smooth story. They'll say things like, I wasn't ready, or I was scared, or it wasn't the right time. And while all those things might feel real, they still don't erase the fact that you were left with confusion, disappointment, or pain. An excuse might make him feel better about what he did, but it doesn't do a thing for the person who had to pick up the pieces afterward. That's why it's important to listen closely. Is he explaining why it happened? Or is he acknowledging that it happened and taking ownership of the outcome? A man who's ready to re-enter your life will not make you dig through his words to find meaning. He will look you in the eye, metaphorically or literally, and say, I did you wrong. He'll be specific about it. He won't just say, I messed up. He'll say, I ghosted you when you needed me. I broke your trust when I should have been your safe place. I let my own immaturity get in the way of something good. That's the difference between someone who's still protecting their ego and someone who's trying to earn your trust again. Excuses protect the past. Accountability builds the future. A man who is making excuses is still stuck in the mindset that led to the mistake in the first place. He hasn't done the work. He might want you back, but he hasn't prepared himself to keep you. Accountability means he's spaced himself and not you, me, you, your people, your king. This is your past. Not just his feelings for you, but the parts of him that sabotage the relationship. That's the man you can consider. Not the one who just misses you, but the one who understands how he lost you. You've got to be strong enough not to fall for charm or nostalgia. You're not the same woman who got hurt. You're wiser now, and you know that love requires responsibility. If he can take full ownership of his actions without shifting blame, downplaying your pain, or acting like time has erased the impact, then he's not ready. Real men admit when they were wrong. They don't try to erase the damage, they try to repair it. Not with words, but with changed behavior. That's what accountability looks like. Love without action is just noise. You can say, I love you all day long. But if your behavior doesn't back it up, those words don't mean a thing. Anybody can say the right things when they want something. Anybody can whisper sweet promises when they're trying to get back in. But real love isn't about what you say when it's convenient. It's about what you do when it's hard, when it's uncomfortable, when it costs you something. Words might touch the ears, but actions speak to the heart. There's a difference between performance and presence. A man can perform for a little while, send flowers, say all the right things, make big declarations. But presence is about consistency, effort, and showing up, even when there's nothing to gain. When a man truly loves you, it shows in how he protects your heart, how he respects your time, how he honors his word. Not just when everything is smooth, but especially when things get rough. Love doesn't disappear when the emotions fade. Love steps up when life tests it. If a man says he loves you but keeps hurting you, he doesn't understand love. If he says he cares but keeps choosing his pride over your peace, that's not love, that's convenience. Love that's real shows up with accountability, sacrifice, and service. It's not self-centered. It doesn't play games. It doesn't ghost, breadcrumb, or leave you guessing. Love is clear. Love is consistent. Love is shown in the daily choices, not just the dramatic gestures. The problem is too many people have fallen in love with words. We replay the texts. We save the voicemails. We hold on to the I miss you and the you're the one I should have never let go. But words don't build relationships. Actions do. You can't build the future on promises. You build it on patterns. What does he do when you're not around? How does he treat you when there's no audience? How does he act when he's upset, when you challenge him, when you set a bound? That's where the truth shows up. When a man comes back into your life, you have to look past the surface. Don't let charm, timing, or loneliness blind you. Listen with your eyes, not just your ears. Is he walking what he's talking? Is there effort behind his emotions? Is he showing up consistently, not just when it benefits him? Because love that costs nothing is worth nothing. Real love is sacrificial. It shows up with effort, patience, and change. Not just apologies, but transformation. Not just attention, but intention. The world is full of people who know how to say the right thing, but have no clue how to live it. Don't be moved by volume, be moved by value. If a man says he loves you, he should be willing to prove it over and over again through action, through commitment, and through the daily decision to choose you, not just when it's easy, but especially when it's not. The daily decision to choose you, not just when it's easy, but especially when it's not. You've grown. Don't shrink for comfort. There's something powerful that happens when a woman heals. When she's been broken, disappointed, left wondering if she was enough, and then slowly starts rebuilding herself. That kind of growth isn't just about getting stronger. It's about becoming clearer. Clear about what you deserve. Clear about what you will and won't tolerate. Clear about who you are when you're not busy trying to prove your worth to someone else. So when a man from the past suddenly reappears, you got to remember how far you've come before you even think about where he wants to go. It's tempting, no doubt. He comes back sounding different, maybe even looking different. And for a moment, you remember the good times. You remember the laughs, the connection, the way things used to be. But don't forget why it ended. Don't forget the tears, the confusion, the silent nights when you were left trying to make sense of it all. You survived that. More than survived, you grew. You found strength you didn't even know you had. You picked yourself up. You gave yourself the closure he never gave you. That version of you deserves to be protected. Sometimes we think going back is easier than starting over. We think it'll be more comfortable, more familiar, but comfort can be a trap. Just because it feels safe doesn't mean it's right. And just because you once loved someone doesn't mean they're still qualified to love the woman you've become. Growth changes things. Growth raises the standard. And the people who left you in one season may not be equipped to walk with you in the next. You can't shrink yourself back down just to make someone feel secure. You can't mute your voice, lower your standards, or dim your light just because someone says they've changed. If they've really changed, they'll step up to meet you where you are, not pull you back to where they left you. You don't need to bend to fit into someone's old idea of you. That version of you is gone. She did the work so you could become who you are now. Growth comes with boundaries. It comes with a new level of self-respect. It means you no longer ignore red flags just because you're afraid of being alone. It means you don't settle for potential when you're finally clear on what you actually want. The woman you are now knows peace is better than attention. She knows silence is better than confusion. She knows love should feel like support, not survival. It's okay to remember who you were with him, but never forget who you became without him. That growth cost you something. Time, tears, sleepless nights. Don't throw that away for the comfort of familiarity. If he wants a place in your life again, he's got to come into this version of your life, not the old one. The woman you are now deserves more than just a return. She deserves a rise. Test consistency, not charm. Charm can light up a room, but consistency is what builds a home. A man can be charming for a day, a week, or even a few months. But if his behavior doesn't hold steady when life gets hard, that charm was just decoration, not foundation. When someone reappears in your life after being absent, they'll often lead with their best version, the smooth talk, the flirty jokes, the sudden deep conversations. But charm doesn't reveal character. It reveals skill. And anyone can be skilled at saying the right things when they want something. Consistency, on the other hand, is quiet. It's not always flashy. It doesn't always come with grand gestures or big speeches, but it's what shows up when nobody's watching. It's the follow through on promises. It's being there when it's inconvenient. It's how he talks to you when he's frustrated, how he treats you when he doesn't need anything, how he responds when you say no. That's what reveals a man's true nature. You got to stop being impressed by the entrance and start being focused on the follow-up. Charm will have you smiling a day and questioning everything tomorrow. But consistency, real, patient, grounded consistency gives you clarity. You don't have to second guess someone who's consistent. You don't have to wonder if they're still interested, if they still mean what they said, or if they'll disappear again, because consistent people show up. They don't need to explain it every time. They just do it. And that's how you know the difference between a man who's serious and a man who's passing time. It's easy to confuse effort with intention. Just because he tries hard for a little while doesn't mean he intends to stay. That's why testing consistency is so important. Not to play games, not to create drama, but to protect your peace. You don't need another emotional roller coaster. You don't need someone who only shows up when they're bored or lonely. You need someone whose presence doesn't shake every time the mood shifts. Give it time. Pay attention. Don't rush back in just because he's saying the right things. Let his actions build a pattern. Let his effort stretch over weeks, months, not just moments. The same way he left, he can leave again. And the only thing that proves otherwise is consistency. Watch how he handles your boundaries. Watch how he deals with the quiet moments, not just the romantic ones. Watch how he reacts when things don't go his way. That's where the truth is. Charm is part of the audition. Consistency is part of the role. Don't confuse a good performance with a good partner. Don't let charisma blind you to a lack of character. If he really wants to be back in your life, let him prove it over time. Let him be steady, not just sweet. Let him show up again and again, not just when it's easy, but when it matters. The real question is he ready for you now? Not was he ready back then, not does he miss you, not does he regret walking away, but is he truly ready for the woman you are right now? That's where the focus needs to be, because time changes people. And if you've been healing, evolving, and leveling up, the version of you he left isn't the version he's trying to come back to. The question isn't about whether he wants you again, it's whether he's grown into the kind of man who can handle where you are in your life now. When someone reappears, it often comes with emotional weight. Maybe it ended without closure. Maybe there were feelings left hanging in the air. So when he reaches out, part of you might still feel that old connection, that emotional tie. But emotions alone don't build a future. You got to ask hard questions, not just about what he's saying, but what he's showing. Has he developed emotional maturity? Has he done the self-work, the reflection, the accountability needed to be a partner to a woman who now knows her worth? Being ready isn't about just being present. It's about being prepared. Prepared to communicate honestly. Prepared to handle vulnerability. Prepared to stay when things aren't picture perfect. A man who's truly ready isn't coming back for comfort, for validation, or for attention. He's coming back because he understands what he lost, and more importantly, he understands what it takes to keep it this time. And he's done the work to make sure he doesn't fumble again. Don't let loneliness or nostalgia cloud your judgment. Ask yourself what's changed in him, but also what's changed in you. You may have once accepted excuses, confusion, or half-hearted effort, but you're not that woman anymore. You've grown into someone who needs stability, honesty, and real commitment. Can he meet that version of you without trying to mold you back into something more convenient for him? Being ready also means he's not threatened by your strength. He respects your independence, your voice, your boundaries. He doesn't need to control or chase. He knows how to lead with love, not ego. If he still flinches at accountability, still struggles to stay consistent, still expects access without effort, then he's not ready, no matter how loudly he says he is. Readiness shows in behavior, not just words. A real man, when he's ready, doesn't just come back to talk about the past. He talks about the future. He doesn't just revisit what was. He's focused on what could be, and he's got a plan for how he's going to show up differently. He's not just back because he misses you. He's back because he realizes the value of you. And he's finally prepared to honor it. Your life, your peace, your heart, they're too valuable to be reopened for someone who still isn't capable of handling them with care.